Sisters, A Summer Vacation 3 by Hakjin Kim. Jin goes to the kitchen after she sees Jun shut the front door behind him. She opens the fridge. I wonder why my mouth is watering today. Let me see. Oh, there's a sauce for the bread. Jin sits at the island with a loaf of homemade bread and a sauce for it. She slices the bread and spreads the sauce on it, and bites a piece off. Oh, this is too good to resist, yummy. Jin thinks that Jun is not so much a math teacher as a chef. While Jin enjoys her breakfast, one message pops up. Hey Jin, are you awake? What's your plan this afternoon? Hey Christine, I have to go to my aunt's house. You know, I tutor my cousin as a part-time job. Okay, text me when you're done, Kate, and I will be waiting for you at the mall nearby home. Christine texts back to Jin. Christine and Jin, along with Kate, have been together since they began their second year in high school. They see almost every day in school and in some fun places on weekends, although they live in different neighborhoods. Jin, born to a middle-class Korean family, feels a sense of belonging and highly energized when she walks anywhere, flanked by Christine and Kate, who are conspicuous because of their gorgeous looks. Christine and Kate are tall with bodies to die for, so that most of schoolgirls want to hang out with them. When Jin entered the high school, she couldn't think of them as her best friends. As an average-looking girl, Jin kept them at arm's length because they weren't easy to get along with. Moreover, she had been a loner for a long time, without any friends, feeling left out at school. Her mother's sudden death caused her to change her ways, feeling small in front of others. Even though her father, Jun, tried to have her make friends by throwing frequent parties and took care of her school stuff, and then things changed when Jin got the credit for math and sports. Towards the end of her freshman year, she caught the attention of students of her age in school and made friends with Christine and Kate, who were cheerleaders about that time. Jin is going to her aunt's house in the hot weather of Southern California. Driving her car with the sunroof open, she enjoys a hot breeze blowing against her face. She keeps to the speed limit since she got her driver's license lately. She touches the audio icon and sings along to pop songs in a relaxed mood, recalling the time she slept over with Kyungla, her paternal cousin who now is a college student in Seoul. Half an hour later, Jin sits at the dining table across Brian, her 10th grade cousin, who has given up on math. Brian is only 1 year younger than Jin, but he doesn't care about being a student in front of Jin. On the contrary, he seems delighted with her tutoring because he hasn't met her for years. Since his mother, Ellen, didn't want to see Jin, thanks to his poor grades in school. Ellen welcomed Jin again to their home to let her help him. Thinking of Ellen, her maternal aunt, Jin never feels better than when she can see Ellen again. Jin hasn't seen Ellen for years after her mother's death, and hasn't even been interested in how Ellen lived her life because she had a grudge against Ellen, who had cared for Jin a lot but changed by keeping aloof herself from Jin. Jin, who needed Ellen in place of her late mother, was upset so much that she didn't want to know about Ellen, who had to get through many things. At that time, Jin was too young to understand that a big frustration caused by the loss of her only sister made Ellen lose contact with Jin. Recently, Jin had a chance to know that Ellen's husband had cheated on her, so Ellen filed for a divorce before launching her own startup design studio. As Jin earned some fame for an achievement in math, Ellen visited the Kim family, saying sorry for her aloofness and said that she needed Jin as the only person for Brian to help him improve his math and keep up with his schoolwork. Jin flips the pages of the workbook and asks where they were in the last class. Brian opens his workbook, glancing at Jin. This time there was only one question I couldn't handle. Really? Let me see it. Oh, good job, Brian. Jin proceeds to take up new concepts in the next chapter. After explaining how to solve the question Brian got wrong, she tries to have him master problem-solving skills and deepen his understanding of basic facts. Looking at Brian, Jin feels proud of him, finding that he is making an improvement fast in mathematics. Brian, born to an American father and a Korean mother. Ellen is tall with green eyes and curly brown hair. He doesn't talk much nor show an interest in anybody except Jin, whom Brian feels comfortable with because Jin is quiet but active like him. Moreover, he becomes excited about pop groups, and he begins to love to practice Korean language during the class with Jin, who is a fluent Korean speaker. One way and another, Brian can't help enjoying Jin's tutoring. About 2 hours later, Jin checks the time on her cell phone and says, "Let's call it a day." "Yep. See you next Saturday, Jin." Brian rises to his feet and goes to his room. Jin looks around to find her aunt. At that point, Ellen shows up in front of Jin. "Aunt Ellen, I was about to leave." "Brian's doing well." "Oh, great, thank you." "Jin, can I ask a favor?" "Yes, what is it?" "Well, I'm wondering if you can babysit Joe for about an hour." "Of course, I'll pay you. My close friend called me to come cause she got into trouble and needs me now, so." "Oh, but my friends are waiting for me at the mall." "Well, okay. But you should come back in an hour, please." "By the way, do you mind if my friends come over here while waiting for you?" Jin asks. "No problem." "Thank you so much, Jin. I'll be back as soon as possible." Ellen goes out and Jin texts Tristan right away. Jin puts her bag on the dining table, hearing a noise from the living room. Joe, Brian's younger brother, sitting in front of TV, is cheering for his favorite baseball team. "Hey, Joe." "Hi, Jin. Look, there's a Korean pitcher. I love to see him playing." "Yeah, he's doing great." "Hey, will you play basketball?" "Yes, I'll be with you in a minute. The game's almost over." "Oh yes, he made it. Let's go outside, Jin." When Joe gets in the garage to get a basketball, Jin texts Brian to ask if he'd like to join them. But she doesn't expect any answer. Jin and Joe pass the ball to each other around the basketball stand. As Jin scores goals whenever she shoots the ball, Joe looks surprised and becomes more excited. Joe, a 7th grader, has been friendly with everyone unlike Brian, so that he has been often invited to a sleepover. His outgoing character made Ellen's life easier as a single mother. Things always happened with Brian, who didn't talk with Ellen. Although she could handle things whatever it takes, Jin texts Brian again to let him come out and play together, and then sees Christine's car pulling into the driveway. "Hey, Jin! You're playing basketball," says Kate, opening the passenger door. Joe turns his head and rolls his eyes. "Wow! You have an eye for pretty things, kid," Christine says. "Yeah, I have." Joe giggles. "Girls, do you want to join us?" Jin asks. "No, let's get inside." "I brought snacks," Kate says.